All right, we're back. My crown is crooked. I'm going to try to straighten it. I'll figure it out. All right, welcome everyone to our cosplay panel. We have some amazing cosplayers. I'm going to bring them on right now. We have Valerie Meachum. Hi, Val.
Hi, good to see you. That was quite the quick change.
Yes, it was. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you guys could see me in the green room or if just it, okay. I think the admins could see me and they were like, probably like, wow. Yeah. We're going to bring on Andrea. Hello,
Hi.
Andrea.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Okay.
hear you just fine.
Thank you. Okay.
And Beth, aka Laughing Rat, are you?
Hi. Is my camera
We do
not working?
See you.
Your camera is not on.
All right. I've got to figure out how to turn this silly thing on.
Okay, well, you figure that out. I'm going to bring out our last one, our last panelist, Ms. DL Memphis.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Do we not have Fred?
Do we not have
I
what?
thought Fred. I thought he was saying he was signing in.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We're waiting for Fred. Oh, there he is. Oh my gosh, Fred. I'm sorry. I need to scroll down. It's been a long day already. Welcome, Fred. Yeah,
Hello, Fred.
I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, and it
you're
was 9 hours
wrong.
yesterday. We'll make it though. We'll make it. I'm having fun. I'm running on fumes. Thank you for saying that because
I didn't give him a chance to say Star-Lord.
Who? Welcome. Yeah, Beth. Well, you figure out your camera. I'm just gonna start my spiel.
I mean, you can hear me. No one wants to look at me anyway. It's Sunday.
Yes, we do.
We all want to look at your lovely face.
I think you're all going to see my cats because they've been calm until now. They all want to be here now.
Of course. Okay, I keep saying this off air, but my favorite part about video chats are meeting people's pets when they come in.
Well, her needs now to be a part of it all. So.
Hello, kitty. Oh my goodness. So,
Yeah,
hey all, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. Let me just scroll up or scroll down and find everyone's pictures. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I am a hot mess this afternoon.
Whatever time it is.
It's afternoon. You're getting there.
I'm getting there. I was telling my mom, I'm like, this is like one of those telethons. But it's really exciting because we are 90% of the way to our goal. More than
awesome. That's great.
I know. And oh gosh. Yeah, like I keep saying about the Actors Fund, if you have enjoyed a movie, we beat the goal! Kristen just said
Yay!
Oh, you guys.
Oh, I'm so excited this happened while we were on.
Yeah, Kristen, my co-planner, is in our green screen, and she just held up her whiteboard. We beat the goal. Thank you, everyone.
That is awesome.
Oh, my goodness. And the day is still young. You all can still donate if you want to, but we beat the goal. That's awesome. So exciting. Okay, yeah. Kristen having that whiteboard has been really exciting this weekend. But okay. Now, well, okay. I think Beth is back, but
am I?
You sort of are.
Oh, well, I'm a blank void, which, you know what, is appropriate for me. So maybe we just go with it.
The opposite of John Oliver's voice.
You know what? You have a lovely voice, and I do have pictures of you. So,
don't share them, please.
They're not blackmail.
She's just going to be the mystery.
I'm not going to share those pictures.
We had an agreement.
And now everyone's wondering. Spoilers. Alrighty. So I am going to just go down the line and actually I'm going to go in alphabetical order because that's how I loaded your picture. So Andrea, I'm going to put you in the hot seat first, and I would like you to introduce yourself to everyone. So let me just pop you up, and I'm gonna
Hi, everybody.
Hi, I'm gonna go through your pictures while you introduce yourself, if that's all right.
Okay. I'm Andrea Starnes. Friends call me Annie. My cosplay name is Mehdia Raiise, but most people can't pronounce it, so I say just use Andrea or Annie. I've been doing this for 19 years, so I've got a lot to show you guys and a lot of insight to it. Let me take one of these earbuds out because I am sounding real loud myself. But yeah, I've done this for 19 years. I started when I was 18, 19. I wish I would have started younger, but I'm glad that I have gotten into it. It's been one of the best things I've done, especially being a cosplay ball. That has been the most fun part of being a cosplayer.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I could ramble and ramble for hours, but there's plenty of other people
I
to
can't
talk.
Don't worry, you'll have more time for rambling. All right.
You might not want to let me do that.
I mean, I've been doing that all weekend, and people are sick of hearing from me. I'm still going to do it because it's cosplay. All right, Beth, I'm going to put your pictures up in addition to the This is so weird. I'm sorry. All right, Beth, tell people about yourself.
Well, I am an empty, shuddering void of nothingness. Apparently today, I've been cosplaying since about 2013. I started off doing stuff with my mom and kind of proceeded into making my own stuff, and now I just kind of, I don't know, I make whatever I feel like making whenever I feel like making it, and I do a fair amount of competing. I win occasionally. Sometimes they give me a thing for making weird nerd costumes, and that's always entertaining. But that's about it.
Oh, I love it. All right. And next up is DL. And
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I have my friend with me.
And you all look lovely, by the way. Especially you, Beth. I know you look lovely.
I look amazing today.
Yes, you do.
She's debuting a brand new cosplay. Sadly, we just can't see it.
It's literally
I think the black void is the cosplay.
No, I am
Is that,
the void.
yeah. So I basically got into cosplay. I started probably about 15, 20 years ago. My original scope of interest was not necessarily cosplay, but it was pinup and vintage. And I kind of found that with my style and my interest in vintage design, that cosplay just kind of fit very naturally. So I've been kind of making the rounds not only in the cosplay circuits, but I've also in like the vintage and pinup societies as well. So
nice. And next up, we have Fred. All right, let's get you up here, Fred.
Hi, I'm Frederick Kier. My cosplay is Space Pope costuming, and I kind of started late. I'm 50 years old, and I started in this about 9 years ago. I've always been really into science fiction. Everything. I mean, I'm not particular. Star Trek, Star Wars, comics. As long as it's science fiction, I love it. I think the thing that I really love about cosplaying in particular is a lot of the organizations that I work with are involved with charity, Heroes Alliance, 501st, Rebel Legion, and I just, especially when you go to children's hospitals and things like that, and just being able to, put a smile on a kid's face that's going through hell, doing something you love, but also doing what you love gives back is just, I think, the greatest feeling.
All right, and next up is, and finally, last but not least, is Val.
Hello, I'm Valerie Meachum. I am an actor and writer and singer in addition to being a big geeky person. Like Fred, I do a lot of the volunteer stuff with Rebel Legion, 501st, Customers of the Cause, a couple other groups or just general things that pop up. I love the kids. It's just the best feeling when not only they get to meet their heroes, but you get to kind of make them feel like they can be heroes. And I guess my happy place, as I was just telling someone recently, kind of crystallized the thought. My happy place is historically inspired fantasy. So I've kind of been exploring more of that during the time that we don't have events and can't hug kids.
Oh, I miss hugs. I miss hugs so much. I miss hugs. I miss charity events.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there. And in the meantime, we find other things to do. Oh, she's a circle.
And then she's gone.
It was a teleportation disc.
Oh, yay! I see a face. There you are.
All right, so this is not ideal. I'm going to be on my phone doing this, but my face.
We can see you. We can hear you. It's all good.
It's a beautiful face.
It's okay.
I like
Let's not. Yeah.
You're like, let's not oversell it. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go top to bottom and let's just talk about how you got into cosplay. But first, I'm gonna start with how I met you and what my first impressions were of you, because I'm gonna embarrass everyone. So Vale, how I met you was we were doing a Rockford Rivets charity event, and I remember you were we went in and my wig was a little messed up, and you were just so sweet. This was like sister solidarity. You were like, here, let me brush your wig for you, and we just kind of like bonded over that. And like that is basically what cosplay is like. It's just like in other areas, I think women can sometimes compete with each other, but it's like women take care of women, and everyone.
That's my theater showing. We all need to look good when we get out there.
Yes, absolutely. So why don't you tell us about how you got into all this?
Oh my goodness. So I'm kind of the opposite of Fred. We are of an age, and I actually started going to cons not only before the term cosplay was current in Western media, but possibly before it was coined. My first con was Starfest Denver in 1981. I had seen an announcement for it after Doctor Who on Sunday on PBS. And we went, I got my dad to take me. And the first day I went, I was just like, oh my gosh, there's all this going on. But the thing that I noticed is there were people wearing costumes. And that was Saturday. And on Sunday, I went back and I had my little sparkly disco dress and my ballet slippers. And I cut an ankh out of cardboard and I colored it with a silver marker. And I put it on the chain from one of my necklaces. And I was a runner, because this is long ago that Logan's Run was actually current. And on that Sunday at Starfest, 2 grown adults dressed as Sandman were shooting at me with their prop guns, and it was the best thing ever, and I never stopped.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Yeah. And that was I don't know, for those who don't know that these things happen, those Sandman guns, you could buy them. They made sparks. They manufactured these things that actually made sparks. And I was running around a hotel lobby with grown adults in costume playing Logan's Run, and it was heaven.
Oh my word. That's awesome. Alrighty. So, and Andrea, we have not met in person, but
No, we haven't.
Which needs to change eventually. So
Make it change, definitely.
Yeah, so we have friends in common, and I have been following you on Instagram for a few years, and just like fangirling over your cosplays.
Thank you so
And
much.
like, I was like, she's so good, and I finally worked up the nerve this year to send you a friend request.
I'm not that intimidating. I'm just a big dork like everyone else.
That's what I love. All right, and real quick, I'm going to show these comments. Sorry. So John Pica is listening while he's driving to Knoxville. So hi, Johnny. And Carlin is saying, runner, awesome. All right. So Andrea, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Okay. So I guess you could say I started cosplaying as a little kid. Once again, whole before cosplay was a thing. Because Halloween was a big deal in my family. It was my dad's birthday. So mom always made our Halloween costumes. So we were little bitty cosplayers. I remember making Mortal Kombat costumes for my brothers when we were like in elementary school and mom sitting at the sewing machine. And I showed horses with my sister for years and mom made all of our show clothes. So it's just kind of a natural progression to go into my nerdiness and make it. And so now, and I told you I'm gonna cry because I lost my dad in August last year, and he was always, he didn't understand it. He thought it was weird that his 38-year-old daughter was playing dress up, but he supported it. And every time I would put on a costume, he'd look at me and goes, "You made that?" And I'm like, yeah, he was always so proud of it. And so I kind of do it for him still. It's for me because it is definitely a confidence booster to put on a costume and have people come running up to you and want your picture, to want to see it and look at it. But, you know, for my whole family, it was just a natural progression to go from Halloween costumes to giant cosplay. So I started, my very first cosplay was at the Star Wars Celebration in 2002. And when I was almost deathly sick by the end of that convention, a little girl running up to me in my Padme battle outfit from the end of episode 1, telling her mom, "I want to take my picture with the queen." You know, I'm over there about to just fall out, but this little girl made me just light up, and it's since then the volunteer part has been one of the biggest things for me. I absolutely adore that, and so glad that I have Cosplay Memphis here that I can be a part of to do that with.
Oh, I love that.
It's
Also,
a special part of being a cosplayer for sure.
also, I'm giving you like an air hug right now because
Yeah, I told you there's a chance. I'm an emotional person anyway, and you know, like I said, it's been less than a year since I lost my dad, who I was very close to.
it's so
So
hard.
it means a lot to me. Last year was a rough year, so I'm trying to make this year a better year. So yeah, it means a lot to keep doing it kind of in his memory.
That's wonderful that you can honor his memory in that way, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. Like,
of course, it's a big part of what I do.
that's important. All right, and Beth, your turn to be embarrassed. Okay.
Well, so I guess I'm the baby in the group. I kind of got started in about 2013. My first convention was 2012, Anime Milwaukee. I just kind of went one day and was kind of just meandering through the halls and seeing nerds in costumes, and I kind of felt like I could do that. So the next year I went as Chihiro from Spirited Away, made that costume with my mom. She started teaching me how to sew. And after that, I just kind of kept sewing on my own. And I think the first outfit that I made entirely by myself was probably the first outfit you saw me in, which was Squirrel Girl, which was also my first major competition build. Ended up winning my category at DaishoCon that year with that. And since then, I have always just kind of approached it as a learning opportunity. I've recently been getting more into like historical costuming and the history of clothing. I actually do a panel on the history of cosplay. So like I'm listening to my elder nerds right now and taking notes about their past cosplay convention experiences. Yeah, that's about it. That's where I came from.
And I gotta say how I met you. So I met you through Heroes Alliance, and I just remember you came in your Squirrel Girl outfit. I was like, holy mackerel, that is the first of all, I've never seen a Squirrel Girl cosplayer out in the wild. I was like, oh my gosh, Squirrel Girl. And you just were Squirrel Girl. Like, and I'm still gonna be sending you information so you can be in that Drunk Comics episode. But obviously this took precedence because this was time sensitive.
Yeah.
All right. So Fred, I'm going to talk about how I met you also through Heroes Alliance. And you just come in and you are Star-Lord. And you have the headphones. You just also are so good with kids. Like you... Because you've been doing 501st before that. I had met you through 501st because we were doing Heroes Alliance and 501st events. And I met you that way first. That's right. And just you've always been so good with kids. And I'm like, this is just a guy who just radiates like this kindness, even though you cosplay Palpatine really amazingly. Like you do a really good bad guy, but you just radiate kindness and yeah. So tell everyone how you got into cosplay.
Well, but first off, thank you so much. You made me tear up there.
That's apparently the panel where I make everyone cry.
You make everyone cry. I started pretty late, and again, somebody else said they wish they started early. I wish I had started a lot earlier. I was going to there's a I wouldn't call it a con, but there's an event called this Discovery World Sci-Fi Family Day at Discovery World, which is like the science museum here in Milwaukee on the lakefront. And I went, took the kids one year, and the 501st was there, and I started talking to one of the scout troopers there, Zach Wagner, and he, I was like, gosh, how do you make these? And he's talking to me about it, and I'm starting to think, oh, gee, I could do this. I mean, I'm not, at the time, I didn't think I had the greatest savvy in terms of crafts and designing things and stuff, but there's just such a great amount of support in the community there. I decided I wanted to do a clone trooper, which I found out later is like one of the most difficult 501st armor sets to do, but it gave me a pretty quick education, and just the other 501st members on the forums, people I didn't know. I was doing a 501st clone, the ones that had the blue stripe on the helmet, and I couldn't quite get the angle right, and literally somebody I don't know in California literally took my image, superimposed it on the image from the movie to show me where to put the line. It was just an amazing amount of support. That, and at the same time, one of my secrets is I think it's very advantageous to have a sister-in-law who's a professional tailor. And the other costume I was working on at the same time was a Jedi, and I think I actually completed the Jedi before the clone trooper. So those are my first two, and then I just started doing events, and cosplay is I think the most addictive substance on earth. You can't just make one costume. Once you're in it, it's deadly stuff.
It's like Pringles.
Oh yeah, it's like crack Pringles or something. I don't know. It's
all right, and I'm just gonna pop up this comment on screen because hi, Luke. Luke is all the way in England.
Oh wow.
I met him in Metropolis a few years back because he made the trek all the way to the States because he is like the biggest Superman fan I've ever met. And if you all know my friends, that is saying something. All right, so last up is DL. And DL, I'm going to embarrass you and say how I met you. So
okay, I
have been following you for, I want to say, like 6 or 7 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think that's how long, like off and on, because as we discussed in our failed drunk comics that didn't happen because of Zoom. But anyways,
the drinking was there.
The drinking was there. We had socializing. It was fun. But because social media sometimes unsubscribes people. But so I've been following you. I found you early in my cosplay days, and I was like, wow, this chick is so talented. I just fangirled. And then when I signed on with Back of the Cereal Box, and John was like, oh, I'm going to have DL Memphis as a guest. And Willow, Skylar, and I were both like, we just both started fangirling. We're like, you know her? And then you and I were first met when we were on one of John's shows together, and we just clicked.
Yes.
And so always tell people that you fangirl over them, and you never know when you might make a new friend, because you are lovely.
Oh gosh, thank you. To be honest with you, I've been fangirling over you for quite a while too. I think that we have discussed that as well. So yes.
Also, always admit that because you never know when they're fangirling back.
Exactly.
All right, so why don't you talk about how you got into cosplay?
Actually, I got into cosplay more as something to do with my family. I have 2 kids, which are pretty much grown now. But I initially started creating designs and going to cons so I could spend time with both my daughters, and specifically my oldest daughter, who was a teenager at the time. And we would create these cosplay designs. Most of them had the vintage flair to them, but they were cosplay designs where she and I were basically a matching set. And then as she got married and moved on, my youngest child and I have done that a little bit, but I do another friend that I have kind of taken up cosplaying with. But for me, initially, it was 100% to be able to do something with my family and to get them involved in a culture that I loved. And I mean, I grew up reading comics, and I went to cons before they were popular. And
Hipster.
hipster, there you go. But it was kind of one of those things that I just really wanted my kids to have a love of pop culture, comic culture, and understand what I saw and I loved in it.
That is perfect. All right. So now we can all talk together. So we've all kind of mentioned, I think all of us do charity work. DL, do you do charity work?
I do quite a bit of charity work.
I thought so. So let's kind of talk about the connection between cosplay and charity work and what that means to you all. Like, what sort of charities are you involved with? Vale, do you want to go first? I'm just going to go left or right.
I think my favorite is the library events, because it's something free and so we see so many kids who might not necessarily get to see at a con, kids who might not necessarily get to go to Disney, and I was one of those kids, so if I can go, if I can be the Disney princess or the superhero that this kid gets to meet, and the people at the library too, the staff and the volunteers are amazing. So they're always like, oh, we just have this little thing, like, you have gone all out. Are you kidding me? So those are my favorites.
Librarians are the best, and libraries are the best. Like, just little slices of heaven.
And one of the kind of silver linings of the last year, because we had like Operation Birthday Rescue and some other initiatives that are going on, so many cosplayers discovered volunteering who hadn't necessarily been doing it before, because there were no cons to go to. What do we do? And they told each other about it, and they got hooked on doing the birthday videos for the kids. And they're like, now we can't wait to go out and meet them for real.
Do you want to, since you mentioned Operation Birthday Rescue, do you want to explain what that is for anyone who might not know? Operation
Birthday Rescue it's a Facebook group. A couple folks started, I think they're up in New England somewhere. But they had, it's a public group on Facebook, and there are, I think, there were hundreds of cosplayers on it by the middle of last year. And they would set up events. The parents or guardians would request, this is this child's first name, their age, and their favorite characters. And they wouldn't guarantee anything, but if you go through the event and you say, oh, I do that one, you do a little video, little personalized video for them, wishing you happy birthday, because they couldn't have birthday parties, And so I know people who literally did over 1,000 videos in the last year for kids. I did not do that many. I did a few dozen.
I mean, that's still like incredible.
And it was so fun to watch people, and you get the messages back from the parents about how happy. Or a couple of times they would even show little reaction videos of the kids, which is, oh, my heart.
That was my favorite thing. Like, Andrea and I have a shared friend, Robin Burks, she was just doing videos anyways. So I had her do her Jin Urso for my nephew, not for his birthday or anything. She just was sweet. And she was like, anyone's kids want it. So my nephew is a big Star Wars fan. He's 6. And after he saw the video, he looked at his mom, my sister, and was like, is she in a real Rebel base? Because she had her background made up. I was like, oh yeah.
Robin's amazing. She's one of the
right. I've asked her twice now for the last 2 cons to be on the panel, and she's just been too busy. So maybe third time will be a charm for
life happens.
She's a busy lady.
Does. She is, which is good. So Andrea, do you want to talk a little about the charity work you do?
Sure. I'm in Cosplay Memphis. I joined back in 2015. I was gone for about a year and then rejoined them, and now I'm one of their board of directors members. But we do all the work here in Memphis with us having Le Bonheur and St. Jude. We're there so much. We miss Le Bonheur. That's like our big place. We do their Fairy Tale Day and Superhero Day every year. And last year we didn't get to do it, so we made videos for them. And I'm part of Operation Birthday Rescue also. But last year for like Superhero Day, since we couldn't go, I put on my Captain Marvel suit and I read stories. I made videos with cat facts because why not? Captain Marvel. I have an orange tabby, so I had my little Flurkin at the beginning. He didn't want to stick around for the video, but you know, and the whole thing, like everyone else has said, the kids running up to you, that spark in their eye, you know, they're just so excited to meet a character. They don't care if your body type is exact. They don't care if your skin color is right. They see that superhero, that princess, and that wonder is still there. And my cat is driving me crazy now. But you know, they look at you, and I've nearly cried doing some of these events. I leave because I'm thinking, this little girl ran past Iron Man, Superman, Captain America, Batman to come to Captain Marvel, and I nearly lost it that year at that superhero day at Le Bonheur because they had always gone to those. And finally the little girls had someone to run to. Oh, thank you. But you know, it really kind of blew my mind to see the reaction. And I even got one of my brothers is in Cosplay Memphis with me, and he got to do that superhero event as the Winter Soldier. And the reaction he got from the kids too. He's over there. He's just kind of, you know, he didn't cry, didn't get emotional, but he's like, man, that was really cool to do. And my other brother was there as an artist drawing pictures for the kids. So it's a big family thing. We all go into it. I've even gotten my mom to do events with me. I made her the fairy godmother from Cinderella for a New Year's event. So literally a few weeks before my mom's 71st birthday, she did her very first cosplay. Oh. So she did the fairy godmother, and I've got to remake it for her because I lost it in a house fire that also happened last year. Told you my year wasn't great. But her costume saved my Snow White costume. So I was like, that's my mom. She's always protecting me in some way. But she loves going to it. So it's a family deal. We all volunteer, and I was raised to help others. My parents always said, you know, you have more than somebody, so give back to them. So that's why I love it. It's been ingrained in me since I was a little kid.
I love that. I love that it's a family thing for you.
Oh, definitely.
I kind of dragged my sister into Heroes Alliance when our chapter was first formed out here. So what about you, Beth? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
What were you saying, Andrea?
No, I was just saying, my brother, he does do it a lot, but when he does, it's really cool to have him in costume with me too. But sometimes he just goes to handle and make sure we all have water and don't dehydrate at events.
Oh, hi, Clyde. Yeah. Clyde says Operation Birthday Rescue is a cosplay outlet for us, and they did videos for our granddaughter Ella, and he's just thanking everyone who participated in OBR. Yeah, his granddaughter, I'm not going to share details on air because that's not my place, but his granddaughter Ella definitely needed some videos. So,
well, and it kept us sane. So yeah,
that's the thing about charity work. That cosplay charity work is I always leave feeling like it did more for me than I did for the people there. Sure. So your turn, Beth.
I'm not sure how much I can add at this point. The group I'm with is obviously Heroes Alliance with you, so you kind of know the deal of how that works. And for me, the fun of it is because I'm our friendly neighborhood squirrel girl in the group. And it's always kind of neat being kind of an obscure character because everybody knows Batman, everybody knows Superman. People are standing there like, what's with the girl with the tail? And then you get one kid, usually a little girl, who just loves Squirrel Girl. And it's like she's seen her favorite Disney princess and she wants her picture taken with you and she wants to pet Tippy Toe. And it's just really fun to see that one little kid who has maybe kind of the weird niche interest, which I kind of, I relate to that. And have that kind of be affirmed by a complete stranger that, yes, this thing you like is cool. Not only is it cool, but some random weird person is going to dress up as this character for you too. So that's kind of where the fun is in it for me, is bringing something that's maybe a little less well known out into the public, and having that, kind of that one kid who knows what it is and can't really talk about it with anybody else, find somebody who can relate to them about it.
So Clyde says Squirrel Girl rocks.
She does.
Yes, she does. I love Squirrel Girl. And then Clyde also says, thanks for doing library events. As a trustee, we always appreciate the comic heroes coming to life. And Marcy is really enjoying the panel. And
Hi, Marcy.
oh, you're welcome,
Marcy's in
Marcy.
Cosplay Memphis with me.
Oh, sweet. Hi, Marcy. All right, Fred, what about you?
Boy, again, I think everybody's pretty much said it. Again, my background, is in healthcare, and again, it's just, I think, somewhat of a continuation of that, and wanting to, again, especially the kids that have just been through things that, I mean, the strength of some of those kids is just absolutely amazing. And it's interesting, you mentioned Palpatine earlier, but he's actually the favorite of a local Make-A-Wish girl. She's about 8 years old, and she had liver cancer at a very, very young age when she was a baby, and had a transplant, and apparently in the hospital. And again, this is amazing. These kids, sometimes they literally live in hospitals for years. And I think this was a year or two of and her mom was a big Star Wars fan, so the kid knows Star Wars, and she, she always wants to go to all the troops where I do when I'm being Palpatine, and she even has. I had some spare fabric left, so I made her a little Palpatine robe, and I don't know if you can post photos, but anyway, again, she's just she's the biggest Palpatine fan. It's just.
Fred, do you have the photo to send to me in Facebook Messenger real quick?
Sure, let me do that. I can
pop it up. I'll work my little magic.
Yeah, it was funny at was it wasn't last was yeah it was Rise of Skywalker premiere at the movie theater. I was in my Palpatine gear, and she actually gave me a gift. She said, "You've been really bad this year, Palpatine, but you still get a Christmas gift." And I opened it up, and this little plastic model of the Death Star. And I was like, when I'm in that Palpatine mask, I can only, for about an hour, it's just a bucket of sweat. But literally, there's tears now mixed. Why is Palpatine crying?
That's when you're glad it's a mask.
Yes. So I think I sent it to you in Messenger, Kelly. Let me know.
I got it.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, that was. I think that was at Discovery World. But yeah, she's amazing little kid. I mean, just.
Hey, Willow.
Hi, Willow.
Willow was on with us most of the day yesterday, and we are sad that she has to work instead of playing with us. But we love you, Willow. Assuming you're still listening, hopefully. So, yeah, Fred, I like the Rebel Legion tagline, "Bad guys doing good."
That's the 501st tagline. Actually, the Rebel Legion is a good guys doing good.
Yeah, Rebel Legion. You're the good guy.
I'm tripping over my words. Like I said, 4 hours of sleep.
I'm about to say, you have every excuse in the world. I don't know how you're hanging in there.
Weekend.
Yeah.
It's adrenaline. I'm having a good time and getting to talk to. Well, it's like going to a con. Same thing. You run on adrenaline, and this feels like a con. It really does. We even have after parties. So check the event page, y'all, for Zoom links. The after party. I've not made it to the after party, so that's a problem. I've been like, okay, guys, I've been on screen for 9 hours. I am tired. I can't. But it's been fun. It's been fun. So I do have more questions. I really do. I'm a mess. So what are the tools of the trade? What do each of you always have in your craft room? What do you
Seam
always?
rippers.
Yes.
Get like
Seam
5
rippers
seam
and
rippers because you're
tears.
only ever going to know where 2 of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 seam rippers and a bucket of tears.
Yeah.
And can't find the seam rippers.
Mm-hmm.
Caffeine.
Just the tears.
Yes.
Oh, Brandon. Hi,
Let's see,
Brandon.
scissors.
Yay. We got another one.
I know. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, once you start doing charity work, it's better than cons.
You get addicted.
Time. The thing that you need is time. One way or another. Time to practice and get better. Time to, and I passed the point where I've sworn off Con Crunch, and now I've realized I'm just not capable of it anymore. So if I want to have something done by a certain time, I got to give myself plenty of time.
Okay, so where do you buy time? Like, is there
Planning.
somewhere I can?
Yeah, well, there are a couple ways of buying it. One is decide what you're going to do way ahead of time. The other is to say, this isn't going to be ready for this, so I'll do it for this instead.
You are smart.
Yeah, I have
In
learned.
your ways.
I have
Jedi
learned.
Master.
I've learned the hard way.
You're right. The Con Crunches. Actually, it helps me get stuff done, but it doesn't help me get it done well.
And also that whole work smarter, not harder thing, that takes some practice, but once you get there, you're like, oh, this is what it means. I've had sleep. What is that?
Well, also,
And everybody's going to have a different method of time management that works best for them. For me, it's I list out a schedule, and I don't necessarily stick to that schedule, but every day I try to get one small thing done. And it doesn't even have to be anything big. It can just be, I take the fabric out of the Joann's bag and I put it on the ironing board. And that counts as a thing some days.
Nice.
But it is a thing that I've done, and I've made some kind of progress. And as long as I can feel like I'm moving forward, it makes it easier to continue working.
It also tells you what you might need to adjust, because you're like, okay, I've just unexpectedly spent 5 months making 18th century stays for the first time in these 6 months I gave myself for this costume. What corners get cut, or when do I reschedule this for?
Right. Very true. All right. What about you, Deal? What's in your craft room that you have to have on hand?
friends. I am a stickler for knowing when I am way in over my head and have to pull in someone who is an expert at something, whether it is prop making or if I get stuck on a project and I'm like, I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. Why are my pieces like this? And it's like, go to my mom's house and say, fix this. So for me, I do allow myself a lot of time just because I have a very hectic work schedule normally. But I do understand when I'm in over my head and sometimes need assistance. I like to have my hands on everything, but sometimes I need help. And that's admitting that is a big thing for me. So
Yes. Oh, I like this comment from Luke. Hold on. Oh, whoops. Clyde, baby Groot cosplay prep steps. That makes sense. It's all progress.
I like it.
And then make your bed each morning, and then at least you have something ready for when you finish your day. Little victories. Oh, love that. All right. So
And if that's too much, pull up the covers.
Yeah. Okay. So Willow asked, what's your favorite budget cosplay you all have done? There's a loaded question.
there's a budget. Wait,
What's a budget?
I know. It's like I set the
Oh,
budget and then I far exceed that, even if it's
Yeah,
a budget
I actually
one.
do a lot of them. I'm trying to decide what my favorite would be.
I did one where I don't know if you're familiar with Gravity Falls, Bill Cipher.
Yes.
I just took a bunch of boxes and bought a bunch of rolls of yellow duct tape and just made a pyramid. I think it, I think it took me all of, maybe the duct tape cost them. I took about 10 rolls of duct tape. So, but I think again, it was definitely, about $50 because, the cardboard boxes were all just there and, just various pieces of scrap I had around. So the only problem is it doesn't fold. I think I've worn it once during Halloween. And it's still sitting in my basement because there's no way I can get it in the car or wear it to any of the cons because it's huge. It just hangs, off my shoulders here, and it's a big, triangle. But still one of my favorites. One of these days, I'll get it to a con. Got to find a friend with a pickup.
I think my. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I did from Lore Olympus. I did the goddess Hecate, and that was one of the only things I have never made a single piece for. I normally make everything head to toe. I thrifted a suit jacket. I had the white shirt, black tie, black pants. All I had to do was buy body paint, and so I got to paint myself bright blue and run around the con in it. So that's probably one of the only times I didn't have to worry about a budget, because I had most of the stuff on hand and didn't have to make a giant ball gown with hand beading or armor or superhero suits. So that felt weird. I was literally at Memphis Comic and Fantasy Con going, I feel weird. I didn't make any of this. I felt off. I mean, people really liked it, but I felt so off because I had not made a single piece of that costume. It was weird, but fun.
I think my favorite one, it was strictly due to crunch time, and it was there were already pre-made dresses, and we're just going to have to go with this. Was my youngest daughter, and I were getting ready to go to, wasn't a con, but it was an event, and she and I were going to be Wednesday and Morticia. And it was so much easier just to buy the dress and, do all the little extras to it than, build it from the ground up. Since then, I have built one from the ground up, but, to start with. But that was probably my favorite, not just because we got to be a little team and she got so much love out of that. Because, I mean, she's perfect for Wednesday, but
your daughter is a perfect Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Or just, I haven't seen that picture, but knowing what your daughter looks like. For me, Grunkle Stan cosplay from Gravity Falls was fun one year for library books treat at Halloween, and it was very inexpensive.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I think we had. I just remembered what the favorite would have to be. We did a wish event for a little boy whose wish was to go to the moon. And he was 3, and they did a moon-themed party for him at a trampoline park. And they had some of us come in. We just threw together whatever kind of cute alien thing we could come up with. And I had a white unitard and a purple wig and some odd little bits and bobs of accessories. But the main thing is that I had a tunic and bracers and boot tops made out of bubble wrap. So and I jumped on trampolines in it, and it was an adventure. But the kid was he was so cute. So yeah, the bubble wrap taped to me on the day of the event.
All right, and a lot of you have participated in competitions. So let's talk about that. Vale, I'm going to have you go first, and I'm going to pull up your most recent competition. I know you didn't win, but having seen the work you did on it, you should have.
Pretty beautiful.
Look at, oh my gosh. I don't have a close-up picture loaded into StreamYard, but the close-up work on this dress is, okay. I need to stop talking, Vale. You need to talk about it.
That's Padme. The Padme that happened, and it's funny because the one that I'm working on now, the alternate universe Elphaba, was going to be my winter project that year. I was going to enter in the crown, and then we got the word that Star Wars Celebration was going to be in Chicago. I'm like, okay, I need to do a big Star Wars costume. And it's this funny, weird cyclical thing, because one of the reasons I picked between, it was either going to be that or Picnic Padme. And one of the reasons was that I had found a wig at Goodwill not too long before that I'm like, this would be a Padme wig or a Christine wig or something like that. And they did not end up infusing that wig because it was too curly for that costume. So I had to buy a different wig when all was said and done. But yeah, there's about 450 hours of my life in that. It's about split approximately a third between smocking the velvet, embroidering the chiffon for the nightgown, and the construction. The construction is a lot more complicated than it seems. And I love talking about it because even though, yes, I made it for a competition and I did not get into the celebration competition and I didn't get into the Crown Championship, I did get to be a finalist in the first Ultimate Online cosplay competition last year, and that was wonderful because you get to hear them comment in real time while while the show is going, and really hear what the judges think and everything. But and you say something about you should have won, and there was a little bit of discomfort with that whole thing because I had the day that I wore it at Celebration, people were like, oh, you got robbed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there were 3 Padmes in that Celebration competition. I know of 4 others who entered from the Padme group on Facebook, all of whom would have been worthy to be on that stage. They've got a show to plan. They've got a mix to put together. And, that first round, that's just a thing. And I've been a judge, and that's the thing is, people say something, and then I have to explain, I've been the judge who people didn't know was on the forum when they're saying so-and-so got robbed. I have been the person who won, who they didn't know was on the forum when they're saying so-and-so got robbed. It's a very small community. We all know each other. I am happy to see whoever wins. And it's a hard thing to explain to people who haven't done it. Because it's like, I understand the sentiment. I understand you wanted to support me, but it's so awkward when I'm looking at people and going, oh, that's amazing. You totally deserve that.
It's almost like the people who say, oh, you're the best of this character I've ever seen. Everyone else
exactly
sucks.
Like that. It feels exactly like that.
It might be a competition, but it shouldn't be a competition.
Yeah, we know how to. If we do it right, we can do healthy competition. It's and make the community stronger. And the other thing is, I had basically a whole competition career before half of my friends were born. I was competing at master level in 1994. And
wow.
I have a best in show workmanship from a big con in Toronto. I have a Judge's Choice Award from Costume Con. All this happened before the word cosplay was current in Western media. Definitely. So, I kind of got it out of my system. And every once in a while, I'm like, let's do a big thing and compete just for fun. But I don't have, and that also used to be my only real outlet. There were hall costumes. There was not cosplay at those cons to the level that we see it now, partly because you're in a hotel, you're not in a big convention center. There's not space for the elaborate costumes that we wear, that we think nothing of wearing on the floor now. 25 years ago, that's a stage costume, that's not a hall costume. So we did things very, very differently. And, if I wanted to make something big and fancy, putting it on stage in the masquerade was the only way. And now there are so many more options. It's not, I won't say I don't miss it, because I do still do it once in a while. I do still get that urge, but I don't have the same drive for it that a lot of people do. I've done my thing.
That makes sense. So Beth, I know you, we're getting close on time, but Beth, real quick, do you want to talk about, I know you have also competed. I'm going to throw up your most recent.
I was like trying to blow up the image bigger when I was watching that broadcast. It was so beautiful.
I know. It's so just, and this is your own design, right?
It is based on real gowns that were worn in the 1880s. What I did is I took a furisode kimono, one of the formal kimono with the long sleeves, deconstructed it, and put it back together as this Victorian tea gown, which was a type of gown that was mostly worn at home. It was kind of the Victorian equivalent of sweatpants, but they're Victorian, so they've got to be a little over the top about it. And those kimono gowns were actually made by Japanese artisans of old kimono for the Western market. So it was actually a recreation of an actual fashion moment. I made my own corset. I made the petticoats. I made the undergarments. It was fun. It was very much a passion project. And I entered it in the ultimate online cosplay competition, just kind of on a whim. I was amazed to actually make it into the finals, because compared to some of the work that was on display, I felt mine was kind of simple. Like there was a lot of very technical work and a lot of understructure work that you don't necessarily see on the screen.
The nice thing about that team is they appreciate that.
Yes, they had such good judges in that group too. They were amazing. But yeah, I always say to myself, compete to win, but don't expect to win.
I like that.
always bring your best work, but there's everybody else is bringing their best work too. So whoever wins, the judges are going to have very good reasons for why they chose that person. So in the meanwhile, just enjoy the ride, have fun with people in the green room. We're all just nerds in costume, just having a good time. And you can just start conversations with people about, how did you make that? That's amazing. And people love to talk about their stuff. And you can make such good friends and learn so much from other people just by just kind of opening up and putting yourself out there and just having fun with it. It's a costume competition. It's not that serious.
Right. I feel like that's how it should be. You're all class acts. I mean, I wouldn't be friends with you if you weren't, but that sounded really snobby. That sounded better in my head.
Sounded fine to us.
Yes.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jill, I know you have a really great competition story, but we're out of time.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. We'll save it for another time.
We will. Yes, because yes. Yeah, especially because we have to hop streams now. Don't cross the streams. Real quick, we have one comment. Like when we go crazy in a ferret gets
yes. Afro ferret.
Oh my gosh. So thank you, all of you, for participating when I was like, hey, I'm doing this crazy thing. Please join me. I really appreciate
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
To be here with
Our
all
It's an
pleasure.
honor.
Definitely, with all these talented people. It was felt honored to be put among the group.
Oh,
Wow.
definitely. I'm like I snuck in.
Oh, you're just as
I-
talented.
You're not getting out now.
No, you are all, I admire you all very much. I'm like, wow, I have some cool friends.
We're all here to inflate each other's
We do
egos.
too.
It's okay.
So thank you. I'm going to drop you out so I can real quick do the charity spiel, and then we can hop streams, because again, don't cross the streams unless the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man comes in. So thank you all. This has been
Bye, everybody.
so much fun. This is,
Bye.
yes. So love you guys.
We'll see you soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. So thank you, everyone. We are midway through the weekend, midway through Sunday. We're almost done. Brandon says this has been a great panel. Thank you, Brandon. And Luke says, great panel. Thanks, Luke. And we still have some celebrities yet to come. Actually, I think that's mostly what we have left is pretty much celebrities. We have, let me pull this up. Yeah, it's a big run of stars. So we have Jason J. Lewis coming up next, Diane Sherry, Christine Willis, and then George Newbern to close out our show. And again, thanks to all the podcasts that have made this made this possible. And I just want to play our video real quick. So I actually misspoke earlier. We're not quite to our goal. We're at 925. We are so close. We just need a few people to chip in. So if you have the money, please donate. It's a really great cause.
This convention is also a fundraiser for the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund fosters stability and resiliency and provides a safety net for performing arts and entertainment professionals over their lifespan. You can support the Actors Fund by following the link below and donating. Every donation also enters you into our sweepstakes and gives you a chance to win these fantastic prizes.